What is Adguard? You've probably heard the name, but it's much more than just a single application. Let's break down the ecosystem that's dedicated to cleaning up your internet. First up, it's the powerhouse, the Adguard Ad Blocker. This is a robust application that you can install directly on your computer, such as Windows, Mac, or even Android. It works system-wide, meaning it's not just for your browser. It blocks ads, trackers, and malicious sites in all your applications. And for the tech savvy, there's Adguard Home, a version you can self host on your own network, giving you the ultimate control over every device in your house. Next, we have Adguard DNS. Think of this as a powerful filter for your entire network. By simply changing a setting on your router or device, Adguard DNS stops ads and trackers before they even get a chance to load. It's a set it and forget it solution that protects everything connected to your Wi Fi from your smart TV to your phone. There's also a dedicated app if you want more granular control on the go. And finally, there's Adguard VPN. When privacy is paramount, the VPN service steps in. It encrypts your internet connection and hides your real IP address, making your online activity anonymous and secure from prying eyes. This is your tool for true privacy, whether you're on public Wi Fi or just want to ensure nobody is snooping on your data. Next up, I'm going to take you through the process of installing these applications. So let's jump into that now. The entire point of everything we're doing today is to avoid this banners on websites or adverts across the website as a whole. So the first thing we're going to do today is download Adguard Ad Blocker, and you can download this onto many platforms, not just Windows like I am today, but we'll go for that. So go to adguard.com, go to download and choose the file that you're looking for. When that's downloaded, open that up. At this point, you can just go through the prompts of the installation and pretty much the default settings are perfectly fine. Once you've done that, just click finish and we can launch the app, either through the icon on the desktop or as the icon in the tray folder on your Windows computer. At this point, you can go through the installation setup wizard and choose what type of blocking you want for you, because everyone is different. Some people like to go, like me, to the complete extreme and absolutely block as much as they can, and others just want to block certain things. So just work your way through these menus and select things that are, unique to you and your setup. Bearing in mind, if you make a decision on this that you want to change later, we can certainly do that in the settings after this. Another cool tool here is the browser extension, which in my case will be installed on Brave. This also allows you to configure your AdGuard settings from inside the browser. Towards the end of the installation, it'll give you the option to install on your phone, which I recommend that you certainly do, and then just click Finish. After a few seconds, AdGuard will pop up and show you that protection is now enabled. Your counters will likely be 0 in anticipation for your browsing to follow. They've done a great job here with the interface. It's clean, it's aesthetically pleasing to the eye, it's great. And after that simple installation, the moment of truth. Let's refresh our website and see if we can get rid of these banners and adverts now we have AdGuard installed. You'll notice that the moment we refresh the page, the adverts have gone. The banner at the top, the adverts down the side, and if anything, this has tidied up the website so it looks easier and nicer to read and interact with. A much cleaner website. No one likes those adverts all over the place, and Adblocker has done a fantastic attempt at removing all of those first time. Moving back over to the application, you'll see that our counters have now increased, and if you want to turn off AdGuard, you can do that simply by just clicking a button. You can turn it back on just as quickly. Going into the settings menu, we can see a variety of different options that we can change to our heart's content, especially if you like to personalize things, such as how much ad blocking you want to do, especially if you want to change what you did earlier on in the installation process. One of my favorite things is to disable Windows OS ads, because as you know, Windows has started to get a lot of those. You've also got the ability to amend other settings, such as the DNS level protection, which is the next topic that we're going to talk about. It has parental tools, browser assist, and different extensions that you can also put in here as well. And it gives you some information about network and the Adguard VPN, which we'll also talk about in a few minutes. The next part of our setup here is Adguard DNS. Now, DNS stands for Domain Name Service, and it's really important because it's basically the internet's address book. When you type in google.co.uk or facebook.com, it tells your web browser where to go to get that information. And by default, without you actually amending anything on your network or on your computers or devices, your internet service provider is the person that handles those queries. Now, why is that important? Well, that's because all your privacy, all those websites you go to, they can see exactly where you're going. And if you're into your privacy, then you're going to want to take back that control and do it yourself. So, Adguard has a DNS service to make that really easy. Now, a really cool thing about this is that Adguard actually built this part of the application into its Adguard blocker that we just installed. However, if you want to set this up on custom devices such as Linux routers or other things, and you want to have real granular control, you can actually do that through this website as well, which is adguard-dns.io. Now, if you want to just use the built-in version on the app, go ahead and I'll show you that in a second, but this really helps you get this nitty-gritty. I'm also going to do a second video here on how to implement this on GLINet routers, so watch out for that video because that will be published at the same time this video is as well. And if you want to learn how to do the Adguard VPN on there as well, that's all going to be included in that video. Now, as mentioned, Adguard does allow you to interact and change with the DNS system through the app that we just installed. By default, it leaves it alone and your internet service provider takes over. But if you go into the settings, go to DNS protection and click on the DNS list, you can now change this to other settings. Now, to get an immediate boost in protection, I recommend changing this to Adguard DNS, just like that. And the protocol being DNS over HTTPS. What does that mean? It means that those DNS queries where you type in facebook.com or you type in TikTok or whatever you want to do, it's encrypted. So your internet service provider cannot see where you're going and what you're doing. This is especially useful if you want to access blocked websites or maybe websites where you want to download all your Linux ISOs and things like that, where you don't want prying eyes to see because, as most countries afford us, the right to privacy. So once you've had a good look around in there and you're comfortable with the settings that you've chosen, you can now start browsing the internet a little bit safer. But if you really want to up your game, then we need to move over to Adguard VPN, which is the premium service offered by Adguard. Now, as always, I'm going to leave all the links in the description for you. So you just need to go into the description, click the link, and you'll find the download links, the website links, everything you need is there. So it's just a simple click of a button. Once you've gone on the description, click the installing Adguard VPN link. That'll download Adguard, which you can then run to install the VPN, that is, and we're good to go. Once installed, just double click the Adguard VPN logo icon on your desktop, which will open up Adguard VPN. Choose to accept, and if you want to send any anonymized information, and then basically we're going to click reopen login page on the application. That will take us to the website, which we can then log in with and begin the login procedure, which will synchronize our account details up so that we don't have to do anything manually, which is a lot more easier. Really important here, once we've logged in, click the checkbox at the top of the page and then click Open Adguard VPN for Windows. That allows the web browser to log into our app for us so that we don't have to do anything nitty-gritty. And there we go. We've got Adguard VPN installed. It's simple as that. All we've got to do at this point is click the connect button and we're encrypted. We are private. We are unique. We share an IP address now with up to millions of people, to be honest, so that it allows you to be a ninja, act in the wild where no one can see us. Right now, you'll see that we're connected to Belgium. So if we open up the What's My IP Address page, you'll see that we now show as in Belgium. In fact, if I quickly disconnect us from the VPN, I'll show you what my IP address is now, and then I'll show you what it is later. So I'm going to hide my actual IP address, obviously, because that's my personal unique IP address, and I don't want anyone seeing that. However, if we go back to Adguard VPN and we turn on our VPN, if we hit the connect button and then go back to the website and refresh the page, notice how the IP address changes. For all intensive purposes, our complete internet connection on this computer is now encrypted. Not only does the ISP not see anything, but nor does anyone else that's snooping on that network. This is great if you're using public Wi-Fi, like at airports or hotels, or on your mobile phone, because you could have the Android apps or iOS apps. There are an unlimited amount of things you can do with these VPNs, and the important thing is it's all about privacy, it's all about security, it's helping with those two things. Now, those alone are not going to, stop you being scammed or stop you being hacked if you're not careful. Depends what you click on. Still don't click on links in emails. Be careful what websites you go to, and be careful what banking sites you're in, and where you're putting your bank details and things like that. But it does go some way to helping with that. And as you can see in the app, the stats, the support, it's got a host of different options in here that you can help with, especially the kill switch, for example. The kill switch is really important because if your VPN fails for any reason, the kill switch will just cut the internet connection. So if you were downloading things like your Linux ISOs that you didn't want your ISP to see, that would be a good option, because if it ever failed for whatever reason, it would just turn the internet connection off for that device, which is really handy. So I really hope this has helped, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to check out the self-hosted version of the video next.